Yo, what's up guys? It's Overjust over here coming at you with StarCraft II. Now, this is a ladder game played by our red Zerg at the bottom left of Hacate. It is ZergOP. And our blue Terran to the top right of Hacate, it is Vindicta. Now, this was a ladder game on the new patch that, come to find out, was out earlier for the North American server than it was out for everybody else. So we saw a lot of tournaments still being hosted on the old patch while I'm making videos on the new patch, and because of that, finding replays for the new patch have been hard because tournaments are only now being played on them. So finding content to make videos about has been a little bit slow, but there has been a lot more exploration because of it, and the game has actually been a lot of fun to play. I love it whenever a new patch comes out. Always fun to see how things get shaken up. Got some Reaper pressure happening at the front. Third base going down for our Zerg player. Meanwhile, we're going to see some Cyclones and Hellions being queued up. Love it. Marine posted up. To make sure no overlords get inside the base. As well as the third command center being finished up. We got 3 barracks on the way. Well, 2 on the way. We got a third racks already finished. And this overlord is going to be picked off. Reaper? Oh, I thought this Reaper was going to go ahead and get some information. See how many queens there are, maybe if they can get them in one position or another. And yeah, we see the queens moving. Got a creep tumor connecting the bases. And this Terran army really unable to find an angle to get in anywhere. We got Stim Pack on the way. Roach Warren coming in for our Zerg player. And it looks like this is going to be held for the most part. There's not really anything that these units for our blue Terran are able to do. We got enough queens to make the defense. You don't want to commit and have the defense come from behind, because then that's a death sentence for your units. And so Vindicta just skedaddles, settling for a drone that was going to try to plant down that 4th, but are you really trying to delay the 4th by killing a drone, or are you trying to kill drones? Cyclone gonna kill another overlord. Now, that is a very notable thing. Vindicta has been doing very well with the overlord kills. These cyclones, not a terrible investment. Denying vision, making sure that Zerg OP might be supply blocked. That's always a nice feeling as a Terran. Now, this 4th base coming up, Terran wants to deny that 4th base from either mining or from coming up. So we're going to see how Vindicta is going to put pressure on this base. Now, he's playing bio. Imagine there's going to be some drops. Mech army, however, still just pushing the middle of the map. Gonna clear some creep. Get spit at by those queens, and they will be turned away. Queens coming back in to refill the creep that was lost. Got the wall of supply depots protecting the SCVs from any Zerglings or Banelings that might come their way. Now, we see it on the production tab, 3, 2, 1 roaches. We got, no, 3, 2, 1 overlords, I meant. We got 9 roaches on the production tab at the moment, 6 now. We are going to have a ton of roaches coming out for our player in the red. It looks like he's gearing up for an attack of some sort, or possibly for a much stronger defense. Now, Zerg really wants to get a ton of workers out. ZergOP is at 74, but is now focused on defending that 4th base. Vindicta does not have a 4th of his own. And just squeezing out a few more drones. We were at 74, now we're at 77, and this 4th base is being assaulted. Marines, Hellbats coming in with a Cyclone, Medivacs for the support. The drones need to be evacuated. And we see a ton of roaches and queens and zerglings going up against that Terran force. We see drones are going to go right back into their mining. Extractor being taken again by our Zerg player. Meanwhile, some more pressure coming in at that 4th. We see 2-2 in production for our Terran player. Meanwhile, 1-1 will not be done for some time for our Zerg. +1 Carapace about to finish, rather. 1-1 for the Zerglings will not be finished for some time. +1 ranged is already here. We got 2 Infestors. We could see some Chain Fungals. Going to get some big damage done on those Marines. Siege Tank really just shelling away at that gas. Really denying the gas mining of ZergOP. Just applying a little bit of pressure. That's a ton of creep tumors. Zerg flooding the way into the Terran's face. And getting what they can do and then pulling away. Gonna continue to fight within the liberation zones. We see a massive fungal going off. All of these Marines are at half health. None of these medevacs have any energy. More fungals going off on the medevacs. These Marines are all but dead. More fungals going off. The Infestor dies. The roaches are pushing forward, going to kill that tank. Everything is forced to back up except for the Liberators, who are going to position themselves on top of the hatchery. Is going to get even more drone kills. Now, we see the 5th base finally being taken for our red Zerg. Now, there was not a ton of economic damage that was dealt in terms of drone kills, but there was a lot of pressure being dealt to this 4th base, and because of that we see a lot of army dying for our Zerg and a bit of lost mining time. Terran is now on 4th base as Zerg does not have their 5th base completely saturated, and we see Zerg at a remarkably low supply. Terran ahead on the mining. You got to remember that Terran has mules, and each mule mines for about SCVs. Vindicta on 3 orbital commands. That is a +15 in the SCV count. And now Vindicta ahead in the workers. I don't want to be a biased caster, but it looks like this is the beginning of the end for ZergOP. Defending these drops. Definitely in a position where he can fight this out. But against a Terran who you are at equal supply with, who is mining better than you, it's definitely an uphill battle. Fungal growth being casted, not really catching a ton of bio at the front, but we got these siege tanks being leapfrogged all the way to the front. Now, this siege tank is going to die. That is a little bit out of position. So many scans happening at this 5th base location. Meanwhile, we got a Zergling run-by happening at the triangular 3rd base of Vindicta, going to get some SCVs killed. although Vindicta gets almost all of his SCVs out in a reasonable fashion. Meanwhile, Bio pushing this 5th base location by the Zerg. Siege tanks are backing this up, and we got a ton of Hydras with nothing in front of them to protect them, and they are falling to this Marine siege tank. Now, we do have some fungals being landed that is going to continue to buy Zerg more time, but we got siege tanks and Bio coming up front, really applying pressure to this Zerg. But Zerg is at 80 drones, this hatchery has not fallen, and as long as the hatchery is mining, then that is good for the Zerg. We see a fungal landing on some Bio, gonna take out some ghosts, some marines, some marauders, but this base is going to fall now. There's no more Zerg to protect this base. Another fungal landing on some Bio, going to get the drones out, but we do have another base down to this location. Probably going to see those drones head that way. Meanwhile, we got another base being pressured by the Terran. Zerg going to attempt to defend their own triangular 3rd. But Terran pushing in with a little bit of Bio and some siege tanks, really going to zone that Zerg away, and it looks like we're just going to sacrifice this base, stay down on 4, but we got another Terran Bio force with a siege tank going to approach the south side of the map. Hydra's having a hard time cleaning up the north battle, and the Bio made it to the 6 o'clock base. ZergOP taps out, and that is Vindicta versus ZergOP. It was a great TVZ. It was a little bit one-sided, honestly. Vindicta, one of the greatest Terran players in the world. I don't mean that in top 10 sense. I mean that he is definitely a top 100 Terran, and I believe that even being top 100 in your race, honestly, you're a fantastic StarCraft II player. Big props to Vindicta for winning this game. He made it look easy. But that will be it for me. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.